Hello and welcome. I'm Tamara Zoner and it's Saturday, Self-Love Saturday. This is our second episode of this new weekly video and we're talking all about self-love. Last week we defined for ourselves what self-love means to us, and if you didn't, I invite you to go back and watch last week and really take some time discovering what self-love really means to you. Today, I've pulled another card from this fabulous pack from We're Not Really Strangers, the Self-Love Edition. I even love what it says on the back, time to fall in love with myself. Yes, it is. It is time for you to fall in love with you because you are the most important person in your life. You're the one person that you'll spend every day, every hour, every minute with for your entire life. So it's really quite important, don't you think, to enjoy who you're with? So this series is about exploring your own feelings for yourself, your relationship with yourself, and how to create a deeply loving and compassionate relationship for yourself. Because I truly do believe that our relationship with ourself is the foundation for every joy in our life or sorrow. And today, the card I pulled, I went through these. I don't use these like truth bombs. I actually look for the one that gets me a little bit excited that I want to share with you. And today I will ask you this question. What can I take responsibility for that I have been placing on someone else? What can I take responsibility for that I've been placing on somebody else? Ooh, I'm going to talk about this for a minute. So maybe you take a moment to pause the video and write your answer in the comments below or journal for a bit. I love this word responsibility. Response, ability. Your ability to respond. So many times in life we're simply reacting to all this different stimuli and we're not often taking time to like take a breath, feel into our bodies, consider, and then respond. And responsibility is not the same as blame. So in my happiness courses, in fact, I have one coming up, a deep dive for happiness that starts in a couple of weeks and runs 8 weeks. It's a deep dive into happiness where we really step into the habits and practices of happiness, because happiness is a practice and happiness isn't always happy, but it means, like this card is telling us, that we are responsible for allowing ourselves to move through the myriad emotions that life provides opportunities for us to experience. And the foundation for our happiness is taking responsibility for it. I've talked about this many times, and I will talk about it many more times, because if we are looking for the world around us, the people, the jobs, the weather, the government to make us happy, it will not ever happen. We get to take responsibility for our happiness, and therefore we're empowered to create it. The external world really doesn't have a very big influence on our happiness. It really doesn't. And responsibility is a word where a lot of people will be like, well, I'm not responsible. It's not my fault. It's not my fault that crap happened to me in my life. It's not my fault that COVID happened and I can't go out and I'm a social person, so I can't be happy while there's COVID. Responsibility is not the same as blame and fault. Is it more challenging if you're an extremely extroverted person to feel happy during these times of isolation for our health, for the community health? Yeah, I'll give you that. It sure is. But what you're thinking about situations and circumstances causes you more suffering than the actual situation or circumstance itself. So what are you thinking? And how could you pull back your power and empower yourself by taking responsibility? So what can I take responsibility for that I've been placing on someone else? You know, I did this a lot in my marriage, thinking my husband was supposed to make me happy. And that's just not true. In fact, since taking back my responsibility for my own happiness and leaving that toxic marriage, I am a bazillion times happier. Once I took it into my hands and stopped expecting someone else to make me happy, I was happier. Once I stopped expecting my work environment to become what I wanted it to be, and I simply chose to show up all the way and do the best that I could, I became happier. The corporation didn't change. The environment didn't change. I changed, and therefore I became happier. So I invite you today to look at areas of your life, relationships, your job, all those things I mentioned before, the weather, the government. I can't be happy if it's 20 degrees outside. I'm only happy in warm places. Is that true, I ask you? No, it's not. Notice points in your day where you are actually happy, where you laugh, where you feel good. They happen all the time, but we're often looking at the bigger picture instead of the little moments that make up the big picture. So, share with us in the comments below where you could take a little more responsibility for your life, for your happiness, for your experience in this world. And really let that guide you this week. Notice where you are giving away your power to the external world, and draw a little bit back to yourself. If you need help with this process and you want some accountability that's full of love and encouragement, we are starting an 8-week deep dive into happiness on Tuesday, January 18th, and I would love to have you there with me. Payment plans are available if you need them. You can find that on alifeyoulovenow.com or tamarazoner.com, and I'll include a link below. This journey is so much more wonderful with you in it. So thank you for being here. Please like and share this video, and join me again next week when we talk more about our relationship with ourselves and find ways to be more loving, more kind, and more compassionate to ourselves, because we're worth it. You're worth it. I'll see you again soon. I'm Tamara Zoner. Bye.